Hi, it's Joanna, UK whistleblower, here once again. So I'm going to read some articles today. I've been doing some research, so one of my subscribers very kindly let me know that what's happening to me is being called a targeted individual and I'm being gang stalked. So I'm going to read you out some articles and I'm also going to read some blog posts, just so you know I'm not making this stuff up. So what's happening is stuff is happening to me. I'm then looking to find evidence of that. So I find it either in faked CCTV, computer code, or I can actually find it in the conversations that they have, that's in the circa 5 million pages of conversations, which aren't all about me, but I am included in them, which I never thought I would find. So this is an article which is over 10 years old. In fact, it's from the 30th of October in 2011 and it's in The Guardian. And the headline is, Met Police using surveillance system to monitor mobile phones. Civil Liberties Group raises concerns over Met Police purchase of technology to track public handsets over a targeted area. So I am going to read some of this information. As I say, this is 2011, which is very, very worrying. Britain's largest police force is operating covert surveillance technology that can masquerade as a mobile phone network, transmitting a signal that allows authorities to shut off phones remotely, intercept communications and gather data about thousands of users in a targeted area. The surveillance system has been procured by the Metropolitan Police from Leeds-based company Datong plc. As we go along, that company is now being bought by a bigger company, and we'll sort of follow that process, which counts the US Secret Service, the Ministry of Defence and regimes in the Middle East among its customers. Strictly classified under government protocol as listed X, it can emit a signal over an area of up to an estimated 10 square kilometres, forcing hundreds of mobile phones per minute to release their unique IMSI and IMEI identity codes, which can be used to track a person's movements in real time. The disclosure has caused concern among lawyers and privacy groups that large numbers of innocent people could be unwittingly implicated in covert intelligence gathering. The Met has refused to confirm whether the system is used in public order situations, such as during large protests or demonstrations. Nick Pickles, director of privacy and civil liberties campaign group Big Brother Watch, warned the technology could give police the ability to conduct blanket and indiscriminate monitoring. It raises a number of serious civil liberties concerns, and clarification is urgently needed on when and where this technology has been deployed and what data has been gathered, he said. Such invasive surveillance must be tightly regulated. We're going to move on to that. Authorised at the highest level and only, let's say that again, and only used in the most serious of investigations. It should be absolutely clear that only data directly relating to targets of investigations is monitored or stored, he said. I shall move over what Datong's website says as the Guardian report. Let's move on. So I've given you the date of the Guardian article, so should you wish to look at it, then obviously you can for further detail. A transceiver around the size of a suitcase can be placed in a vehicle or at another static location and operated remotely by officers wirelessly. Datong also offers clandestine portable transceivers with covered antennae options available. So interestingly, it was refused an export license to ship technology worth 0.8 million to an unnamed Asia Pacific country after the Department for Business, Innovation and Skills judged it could be used to commit human rights abuses. Let me skip over some of that. I want to get to some interesting parts. All covert surveillance is currently regulated under the Regulation of Investigatory Powers Act, RIPA, which states that to intercept communications, a warrant must be personally authorised by the Home Secretary and be both necessary and proportionate. So I would love to see the one on me, please. If someone could provide me that, I would be very, very grateful. The terms of RIPA allow phone calls and SM messages to be intercepted in the interests of national security, to prevent and detect serious crime, or to safeguard the UK's economic well-being. Interesting there. And now I could be accused of having a pointy finger. I could definitely be accused of that, and I have always owned that. That is very true. Now, when we say, that's interesting, isn't it? We say safeguard the UK's economic well-being. So what does that actually mean, thinking about that? If you're any kind of whistleblower, if you're going to call out any kind of corruption, in theory, you are a challenge to the UK's economic well-being. Of how they want to control it. Interesting. Let me think on that. So, as a barrister, Jonathan Lennon, who specialises in cases involving covert intelligence and RIPA, said the Met's use of the daytime surveillance system raised significant legislative questions about proportionality and intrusion into privacy. And actually, there is some very, very interesting information from barrister Jonathan Lennon, and I will be doing other videos on that. I mean, I'm reading that. You have to remember this is from 2011. What I want to do, rather than carrying on reading that article, is I want to read you some accounts of people who have had this happen to them, because then I think it will help you perhaps understand and validate more of my experiences, bearing in mind I can back up everything because I have all these internal conversations confirming what they're doing. I didn't know it was a thing. I'd never heard of this. It didn't even occur to me that that this might be something they were doing. Anyway, let's move on to people's experiences, as I really like to share those.